You are listening to Entertainment Bites with your girl Fallon Reacts. And this time we are going to be talking about an American James Bond. What the heck? And I know there's been a lot of outside of the box ideas that came out, but Glenn Powell was actually asked if he would ever play James Bond. And if you don't know that name, he was actually in Top Gun Maverick and Twisters. He was interviewed by the Hollywood Reporter with Eli Manning, and he was quite literally asked if he would be willing to play James Bond. And I'm sure you're going like, why? Why did this come up? Actually, Amazon has gotten the rights to uh, make a new James Bond project. They've gotten it from the longtime caretakers, the Broccoli family. So they're currently searching for the next 007. And that is why I think a lot of people have opinions on James Bond. How should you cast it? Who should you cast it as? And the fact that this is getting brought up makes me wonder if Amazon is considering an American. But here's the problem. James Bond has always been British. And Glenn Powell is like, a Texan should not play James Bond. You need to get an authentic Brit for that job. That is a literal quote from him. He said he joked that he could play Jimmy Bond, but not James Bond. He reinforced that Bond should stay British because that's Her Majesty's Secret Service. Because the character has always reflected the UK's identity, history, and politics. Making Bond American would strip all of that away from the character. He wouldn't be James Bond anymore. He'd be Jimmy Bond. The argument is, does America need a James Bond? And the truth is, we already have our equivalent. Ethan Hunt of Mission Impossible, played by Tom Cruise. And if anything, what could be done is that Ethan Hunt could be not so much a individual person, but it could slowly develop that that's the code name for a specific role. One could argue that Mission Impossible has surpassed James Bond in action spectacle. And here's the funny part. Bond films are often influenced by Mission Impossible's high-stakes set pieces. So these two are affecting each other. They are parallel universes. They are push and pull going on here. They inspire each other, and I think that is really cool. But please, keep the Americans with the Americans and the British with the British. What was discussed was also, could Powell take over Mission Impossible from Tom Cruise? And he said, no. My mom would never let me do that. I take that as, my mom would kill me. And the reason he was in this interview and these questions were brought up is because Powell is actually stars in The Running Man with their November 7th release. If it is successful, it could boost him into the Cruise level action roles. And I think he's already started in that with Maverick. And he was the lead in Twisters. So what do y'all think? What do you think of this whole mess about, it's like, oh, James Bond could be played by American, could be played by a woman. I'm going, please don't mess with James Bond. Keep him a dude. Honestly, keep him a dude and keep him British. Because if I'm watching a James Bond movie, I want to actually hear a true British accent. I don't want him to sound like Billy Bob who lives down the corner. But what do y'all think? I'd love to hear what y'all have to say down in the comment section. And as always, I will catch y'all on the flip side.